thinking about getting into real estate? And are you just not sure what you want to do with your life? Did you go to high school but not college? Did you go to college but want to switch careers? Or are you a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, or you just staying at home and you want to do something with your life? Well, we got you. I'm Matt from Mantle Realty here with Holly and Kelton. And we're about to tell you what it's like in all three of our different walks of life. We're going to start with Holly. So Holly, tell me a little bit about your adventure. How did you get into real estate?
I am a stay-at-home mom, and I have actually wanted to be in real estate for the past 7 years, but I was just too nervous to take the leap until my husband finally was like, "You're staying at home. What do you have to lose?" And I said, "You know what? This is the perfect job where I can work and stay at home." So I chose to do both. Heading to Kelton now. Kelton, what made you choose to do real estate?
Long story short, pretty much, I went to high school, realized college wasn't for me real quick. Never even made it there. My senior year of high school, I did an internship right across the street. It was Mantle Realty. Did an internship with them for a year. Learned the ins and outs of real estate. That made me want to, go farther with it, go get actually licensed in it. Went and got my license, and here we are now. What about you, Matt? How'd you get into real estate?
It was quite an adventure, let me tell you. I had really no ambition in life when I was in college, or really in high school, and tried to go to college a couple times for different things, and didn't really pan out. So I was just working a few dead-end jobs until I was talking to a friend's ex-girlfriend, and she said, "You should be a teacher." So I thought, okay, I got nothing else going on, let's become a teacher. So that's what I did. And well, as we all know, teacher salaries do not pay the bills. And whenever you've got teenage kids, life gets expensive. Fast forward, I got out of teaching, and I was going to use my master's degree to start a professional development company. And my wife, lovely as she is, told me, ex-teachers make great real estate agents. And I started hearing that a lot. So I took the classes, passed the course, got my real estate license, and then started interviewing with different firms, found Mantle, fell in love, and here I am. Basically, the moral of the story really is you don't have to go to college to become a real estate agent. You can go to college to be a real estate agent. All those experiences is really up to you and how much you want to come in with. You can learn a lot along the way. What I want to ask, Kelton, is what advice do you have for anybody out there who may be senior in high school, who's kind of contemplating maybe getting into the real estate industry? What kind of advice do you have for them?
So, first advice, number one would be don't be scared. You gotta be an outgoing person. You can't be, complacent. You can't be complacent with things. And then, ask. There's plenty of high schools out here. They have teachers that are meant for setting up classes outside of the high school. Ask around, see if that's an option. That specific internship wasn't actually even an option whenever I went in. I kind of just made it, got all the details, was like, here's the proof of my pudding, here's who I'm doing it with, here's all my requirements for it, and, they let it happen. But yeah, just be outgoing and go head on for everything. Holly, do you think you should have got a college degree to do real estate?
Absolutely not. I actually think that going through your schooling process, they teach you basically how not to go to real estate jail. So being in an office that trains you and teaches you is what a new agent really should strive for, because you don't want an office that just throws you out there and says, "Good luck." You really need to find an office that's going to guide you the correct way and show you the ropes, because that's in the end game how you're going to be a successful agent. Matt, you went to college and you got a career. You had a successful career as a teacher, but you chose real estate. Do you think that was a waste of your time to go to college to be a teacher?
Holly, I don't think any experience in your life is a waste of time. I think that everything that you go through in life, every experience that you have prepares you for the next experience. And I think that without that college experience, I wouldn't have been disciplined enough to make sure that I can focus on my business and building my brand and doing things that are required of you as a real estate agent Unlike working as a teacher or even in a restaurant or a different kind of job where you have a boss or a manager or somebody that go in and you have these required tasks to do every single day. You go in, you know exactly what you need to do, then you go home and you're like, cool, I'm done for the day. Real estate is not like that at all. And, it's a 24-hour, well, you want to set your business hours, but, it's an all the time job where, you might be sitting at home about to cook dinner and you got a lead that calls you or a client that calls you. And now you got to maybe schedule a showing or, you want to run a CMA for them or something like that. Also, digging up the leads, calling your leads and drumming up that business. You've got to create the business that you have. You got to create your clients. You've got to do it all. And, without that college experience, then I probably would be a lot more lazy than I am now. So me personally, I think that, yes, I'm glad that I went through that college experience. It helped me grow and mature as a person. Does everybody need to go to college? No, not at all. But me personally, I do believe that it helped me become the successful realtor that I am. Holly, what skill sets as a stay-at-home mom did you bring to the real estate industry when you became an agent?
That's a hard one. Probably patience, because having a now toddler teaches you patience because he is a little persistent and he doesn't know what he wants. But fun fact, a lot of homeowners or like people going to buy houses, they do not know what they really, really want. They get their needs and their wants confused a lot. And so does my toddler. So I think patience, understanding, things like that are definitely key things you need. And a lot of things portray in both lives and you don't even realize it. So like time management is another huge one. Schedules, make a schedule for your toddler, make a schedule for your work. So, and yes, schedules break. I will say that, let's have a party one night and let's stay up and eat popcorn until 8 instead of 7. But the same thing, if a client calls you while you're cooking dinner, I'm going to answer the phone and schedule a showing for the next day and not be like, well, it's 5 o'clock. I'm not talking to you. So it really just depends on how you want to run your business. Kelton, if you didn't choose real estate, where do you think you would be right now?
I can tell you exactly where I would be right now. Actually, I was really contemplating between joining the military or, getting into real estate. And then I pretty much decided on real estate, put all my eggs in that basket, and here we are now. But yeah, if I wasn't here, I was definitely, going to be overseas somewhere. I want to be in the shit. You know what I mean? Mr. Ham, if you had one thing to compare from teaching to real estate that compare hand in hand, what would it be?
That's simple, Kelton. Continuing education. So in the education field, you're always doing these trainings and professional developments. They call them PDs. Here in the real estate industry, we call them CEs, continuing education. But it goes hand in hand. You're always trying to learn the most that you can, stay on top of the education, stay on top of the new trends, knowing exactly what changes are happening in the laws, especially with this new National Association of Realtors settlement, things like that. And that goes hand in hand with education. Every year it seems like curriculums get changed or some other kind of guideline comes down or, they're focused on testing or something like that. So really just staying on top of the field and making sure that you are up to date with all your most recent trainings, I would say go hand in hand. Also, piggybacking off of what Holly said about patience is, I used to teach kindergarten. So obviously a bunch of 5-year-olds, you gotta have a lot of patience with them and you're repeating yourself over and over again. But also you're teaching them brand new things that might be concepts they've never been introduced to before. And that goes hand in hand with first-time home buyers because there's a lot of terminology and a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that go on in a real estate transaction that especially first-time home buyers may not be aware of, or they might not be a first-time home buyer, but they bought their home 30 years ago. Things have changed a lot. And so, the teaching aspect of it kind of goes hand in hand as well. Kelton, if you could choose the one thing out of being a real estate agent that is just like the bee's knees, man. It's like, this is what I wake up to do every single day as a real estate agent. What would that be for you?
I mean, really, it's endless. Love real estate in general. Love properties. Love seeing houses. So, that's always a cool aspect of it. One of the biggest things, though, for me is simply just helping people. I mean, there's no better feeling in the world whenever you get a first-time home buyer under contract, get them closed, and that smile on their face that they just bought their first home. Or, maybe you're selling some land for a family member that they thought wasn't going to sell, and you got them more than what they were asking for it. It's moments like those that makes the industry fun, almost makes it enjoyable, is, just seeing the impact that us realtors do have on people. We aren't just business people. We just aren't salesmen. We really do care about our clients, and we like seeing the emotional side of things because that's a reason why a lot of us do it. All right, Holly, if you had to compare real estate to something that you've done in the past, some career, what would it be compared to and why?
I would probably say most to dental. So I was a dental assistant for 5 years before I became a stay-at-home mom. So I worked in sedation dentistry, and we had a lot of scared people, scared of the dentist, and they would come in, and even if it was something like a simple filling, they really wouldn't understand the process. I think I compare that the most to real estate because there's so many terms going on. Big words being thrown at you in the dental field, and people get scared. Same thing with real estate, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. So many big words are coming at you, and you may not process it all. Part of my job as a dental assistant is to kind of dumb things down to where normal people, like even myself, could understand it and say, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the decay, and then we're going to place a composite. And then that's kind of the same thing with real estate. Okay, we just put in an offer. We got our offer accepted. Okay, so now we're in the due diligence period. Now we get to go in and do our inspections. We get to see, is the roof okay? Is the foundation okay? So explaining those things to people so it makes the whole process easier and less scary. That's why I would relate it to dental assisting, if that makes sense to anyone. Matt, what is one thing about real estate that you do not like?
It's a hard question because there's so many things about real estate that I do like. I would probably have to say that the hardest thing, the thing that I don't like the most about real estate would be, there's a few things that, are annoying, right? Like negotiation can be annoying, or having to drive here and there, could be annoying. But those things aren't really, I don't really dislike them. They just, can be kind of annoying. I think the thing that I don't like the most about real estate would be the fact that I'm pretty family oriented. I know that some of you all have soccer and things like that, and some of your kids may play travel sports, or you yourself may play travel sports. And so how time consuming that can be. And I like to be there and to support my kids, for their sporting events and things like that. And, we like to go and do things as a family. And so if I haven't time blocked or I haven't carved that time out and made arrangements with other agents or my clients, then that can be kind of stressful, wanting to be in two different places at once. Luckily, communication is the key to any open and honest relationship. And so if you're just being honest and open with your clients, and you're, telling them everything and communicating all this stuff, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be very understanding. So most of the time, my clients have been very understanding, and they know what's going on. They also know that as a realtor, you can work pretty much anywhere. So as long as you got your computer, your phone, if it's not going to look at a property, I can actually just look it up online for them, give them some information, dig a little deeper. But yeah, I would probably say having to balance my time between work and family is one of the hardest things. But trick I found is, asking questions, talking to people, different families and things at the soccer field, just kind of, just having conversations with people. That practices for when you're calling leads. And you never know, you might meet somebody out there that turns into a client for you. Holly, if you could dream up your most perfect showing, how would that go?
Let's see. I'm sitting at the office. It's a Wednesday, Thursday, And the phone rings. I pick it up, and it is a client wanting to see said house. I ask if they're pre-approved, and they say, yes, I have talked to a lender and I am pre-approved. That's what we need. So then I let them know that before I show them this house, there is the buyer agency agreement they have to sign. No problem. So we meet at the house, we sign the buyer's agency, we go over that contract, we go over everything. I see their pre-approval, and we go into the house. We look at everything. Maybe it's a fixer-upper, maybe it's ready to move in, but the people are in love with it. They go home and they think about it, but only for a day or two before they want to write their offer. And that would be the dream showing. Or I could also take it as a dream showing as we go in and they're not loving the house. They don't like certain things. Or it's like iffy. It's not their dream home, which is fine. Go home. I send them some different houses. We look at some more houses, and then we pick a different day to do more showings. And then we end up finding their dream home. But at the end of the showing, or multiple showings, to make it a dream showing is to be the one that it's the house. It's the house you want, the house you love, and hopefully it's the house we get you. Kelton, you see a lot of things on like the internet or, pictures and people, and they are wearing black. Realtors normally wear black. And they're, girls wearing the dresses or, blazers, guys wear suits and stuff. How do you prove that that's not your norm? What do you wear to showings?
We'll give you a little insider fact of a realtor here. You want to match how your client dresses. So if your client dresses up, obviously dress up a little bit. If the client dresses down, sweatpants, hoodie, then in my opinion, it's perfectly okay to dress like them. The reason why that is because how are you going to feel is if you're wearing shorts with paint on them and a t-shirt and I come in here in a full court suit, you're going to feel intimidated. My goal is not to intimidate you. My goal is to inform you. So instead of you sitting there thinking about, oh, this guy's wearing this, he pulled up in this car, I would rather you just be more comfortable with me, knowing who I truly am than, being something that I'm not. Now, the client dresses up, of course I'll throw on the nice khaki slacks and, nice polo hoodie. Or, and then if I'm not doing anything that day, don't have any showings, then I dress how I want to dress. Some days I'll walk in here wearing a button-up shirt, khaki pants. Other days I'll come in here wearing shorts with paint on them with holes in them. So it really depends on the day. All right, so we hope this video helped y'all out. Number one, seeing that anybody can be a realtor, no matter if you've been to college, just graduate high school, you're a stay-at-home mom. Also, hope you got to know us a little bit more better. Know me, Holly, and Matt. Hope y'all like this video. If you want to see more video content like this, be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below what we should do next. If you're a realtor, comment down below. Let us know your experiences.